on to a topic which I don't think anyone else has picked up on.
Uh-oh.
But it is interesting. It's
She-Hulk?
no.
Oh,
It's the DC thing, mate. It's the DC
I'm
thing.
just
So
kidding.
this is a pretty unprecedented statement that's been revealed by James Gunn, and it's actually all to do with whether Warner Brothers has any say in anything that he does, and they don't. They don't at all. So he was asked categorically on Twitter, curious if Warner Brothers gave you notes and how did you receive them? Because this is about him sharing, the image of Superman Legacy, right? He's finished the whole script. You know, they're not going to be announcing any casting soon or anything like that. But basically, he says, no, Warner Brothers won't be giving notes on a DC Studios production. Since we came on board, we're two separate entities within Warner Brothers Discovery.
Wow.
So you've got Warner Brothers Discovery, the parent company,
right?
DC Studios, Warner Brothers Studios, separate, completely separate.
It's
entities.
Technically how Marvel is set up, but yeah.
Well, it's still a pretty big thing to have revealed. Pretty big. Yeah, I mean, it's something.
Well, it's kind of what we said they needed to do is have its own separate studio, right?
Yeah.
You guys
well, I wonder, guys. I mean, my thoughts on it are more just. I'm just surprised that that's the way they're going.
A lot of power. We've seen what happens with a lot of power in some of these things. It doesn't go well for very long. So,
well, we've already seen what they're looking to do moving forward. So, maybe this is part of David Zaslav's plan, is that literally have singular people to blame, so they can go, well, you literally did this. You are the ones that said to do this. We trusted you. We put all the blame on you. There's no oversight committee. It's just you. Yeah. So your head is on the chopping block.
That makes sense. I mean,
we reward you as well, I guess. I don't know.
It makes sense. I mean, I like that idea. Set metrics. You need to meet these performance metrics, or you're gone. Your ideas and you are gone. We don't have time for this to flounder and fail. And I think if everybody ran their studio that way, it'd be a little safer. I mean, I think that if you look at the way Universal Comcast treats Blumhouse Atomic Monster, because that's kind of what they do. So I imagine if there's successive projects from Blumhouse Atomic Monster that they're gonna be out of there, So, and no more deals.
Well, what do we think, ladies and gents? Nick, what do you think of this? I know.
I mean, it sounds sort of like what Tom was saying. It sounds like sort of like the same sort of setup that Marvel's got, Lucasfilm, Disney being.
Yeah, you're naming really bad examples of this going successfully.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to go successfully, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that familiar with this whole deal, so I honestly don't have a whole lot to add.
Oh, terrible, Nick! Come on, you should be up on it. We've covered this a few times.
Yeah, I'm not.
Tom, what do you think, buddy?
Well, I mean, this is basically what we said they had to do in the begin with. At least people that I've discussed it with before, like Andre and Script Doctor and so on. They need to separate themselves from the main studio, because that way you can do multiple projects without it being a studio project per se. But at the same time, you could fail and fall flat on your face, and that's where I think Culture's right. And this is one of the reasons why I think they are trying to separate themselves from what came before it. I'm not surprised they won't really carry anything at all over into this new DC universe, because it allows Gunn to either succeed or fail on his own, on his own terms.
No, his own merits. Yeah.
His own merits, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it's not like, they can go, well, we held on to these Snyder characters in this storyline and that screwed us, or they have anything to fall back on at this point. Once we hit Superman, it's all on him.
Yep.
But it can fail. It can fail, and it's going to be all on their shoulders. And they don't have a 10-year deal. They may have a 10-year plan, but they only got, a couple of years to make sure this works if they want to get renewed. So It'll be interesting to see how it works out.
They need hits right out of the box, Tom, right?
Yes, but I mean, as far as keeping DC separate, it's kind of like what they need to do. That way, Warner can concentrate on doing what Warner does otherwise.
Yeah,
because it used to be that we'd get one of these superhero movies every couple of years. There was Superman, there was Batman, and then all of a sudden you got this 3 or 4 different trying to get a DC universe off the ground and it failing miserably. So at this point, you kind of have to do it this way, like go in with a plan and start fresh. And again, it's going to all matter on whether or not James Gunn is the right guy for this or not. That's really what it's going to boil down to.
Yeah, I still am not sold. I mean, they really had to beg him to come in and do this gig. I mean, that kind of concerns me. And giving him that much autonomy maybe was part of that negotiation. But at the same time, I mean, Gunn's had flops too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not smash hitting it out of the park all the time. Not at all.
It also makes it easier, and this is going to be something that's going to gin up a lot of hate from people. It also makes it easier for them to get rid of him and sell DC off as an entity entirely.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Sorry, I'm looking at it from the business.
There is that, but there's also the fact that, and I brought this up before, I don't know if I brought it up here, though, where Warner Brothers has been a mess for about 25 years. And one of the biggest problems is how sectioned off everything was before. And I think that's part of what Zaslav is coming in to try and clean up. Because you had things that were DC related that were underneath the children's entertainment department or family entertainment department and shit like that. And they had too many issues with people working with each other. So hopefully, if anything, this just kind of cleans everything up, and it doesn't matter if it's animated or live action or what it is, TV show, movie. If it's DC related, it's handled by DC Studios from here on out, period. Hands down, end of discussion.
Yeah.
And that kind of eases that. Plus, if, like Culture said, shit hits a fan, you can fire somebody and or sell the whole kit and caboodle off without any issues. So I can see it as a... Yeah.
It could be argued that DC has not been a financial success recently.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
saying.
think anyone would argue with that.
Yeah, Black Adam 2 or Black Adam Shazam 2. Either one of those did.
You think Blue Beetle and Aquaman are going to be smash hits?
No,
not so.
I mean, in a universe that they've already pretty much walked away from. I mean, who's going to care about the Aquaman movie? I mean, the universe doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, rewind back to the second Suicide Squad film. That didn't exactly make money hand over fist.
Yeah, Blue Beetle. I mean, I grew up collecting comic books. I don't even know who that is. I mean, I don't know how popular that character is.
Not massively. Not hugely popular. Not like a smash hit.
Tom likes him.
Run away anyway.
Paulie likes him.
Yeah.